Welcome back to the channel. This is Honest Adonis 2. LeBron James' tenure in LA is over, and it was a failure, mainly because he didn't do better than Kobe did without a top 75er on his team, and you had a whole top 75er on your team in Anthony Davis. In that regard, with a top 75 center on your team, you should have won 3 rings. And some of you are going to say, yo, he's not even a center. He's a power forward. Same with Pau Gasol. He's not a center. He's a power forward. So Anthony Davis and Pau Gasol are both power forwards. And Pau is not a better power forward than Anthony Davis is. So you had more talent when it comes to that position. Pau is not a better center than Anthony Davis is. Still, LeBron had more talent at that position. So it's a failure because you should, at the very least, win a back-to-back like Kobe did with Pau. Adding insult to injury, Pau was not even a top 75er. So where did LeBron win a back-to-back without a top 75er? So in LA, your tenure there was a failure. Kobe was able to do that. Even if you take away Shaq, if you add Shaq in, it's even more of a failure for you because you should have had 3 rings. Especially with these new memes that I'm seeing, how somehow LeBron would have did whatever to Shaq. So that means you're better than Shaq. Again, this is why your tenure in LA was a failure. These dudes love to separate rings. They separate Jordan's rings. They separate Kobe's rings. But that's because of this reason right here. You got to set the bar lower for LeBron James, just like they set the bar lower for Scottie Pippen. If the bar is set at the same place like everybody else in the top 10 all time, whoever you have there, you realize none of those people need to mention Kobe or Michael Jordan. Part of why LeBron's tenure in LA was a failure was because you never won a ring with Anthony Davis. You won a ring with COVID-19. Because once the virus left the arena, you never got back to the finals. Anthony Davis was there, never won nothing. Another reason LeBron's tenure in LA was a failure. You had more talent than Kobe Bryant had with you, and you still won less rings. LeBron fans love to pretend that Pau Gasol was as good as Anthony Davis. As you see this graphic in front of you, Pau's numbers as a Laker, AD's numbers as a Laker. Pau doesn't shine nearly as bright as Anthony Davis. Another reason LeBron's tenure in LA was a failure, you couldn't win a back-to-back. Jordan won back-to-backs twice. Kobe won back-to-backs twice. These dudes like to claim, oh, but Kobe had Shaq. Well, let me just present this to you right fast. The reason they say the 2017 Warriors would beat the 96 Bulls is because of the three-pointer. They don't factor in the old-fashioned three-point play. They don't factor in fouls because somebody's going to get 2 quick fouls guarding Jordan. Whoever your starting 5 you have on, Jordan is going to create contact. He's either going to get 2 shots from the line or he's going to get an and 1 from the line. I'm not going to get lost in that part. But if 3-pointers, spacing, style of play is the only thing that they factor in when it comes to the Warriors beating the Bulls, well, then you got to factor that in when it comes to AD versus Shaquille O'Neal. AD is more talented than Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille is more dominant. Shaquille can't hit no 3-pointers. Aha! Shaquille could do whatever he do on the inside if you're playing with 90s rules. If you're playing with today's rules, spacing, you can't even stand in the paint like that no more. So Shaq, his whole game would get totally dismantled. That leads me into another reason why LeBron's tenure in LA was a failure. Because Kobe played in the era with no spacing. Kobe was able to get to the lane at will. LeBron, you didn't win your first ring until spacing, which is basically opening up the lane, was put into place. Shout out Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, and the Warriors. They exploited that hack. The NBA changed the rules for you yet again. First, they took out hand checking. Then they allowed traveling and called it the gather step. Then they turned a half-court game into a transition game. Yes, half-court can turn into transition in a moment's notice because of spacing. For LeBron, if the lanes are open, he can just get in there. What's that got to do with Kobe? Kobe was still able to win even when the lane was clogged. On the super team Celtics that LeBron fans named them because LeBron couldn't beat them. On the dynasty Spurs, the reigning champ Spurs in 2008 that the La Media dubbed as, these are the dynasty Spurs. How do you expect LeBron to beat the dynasty Spurs? Well, Kobe did, and he did it without Shaq. Kobe beat the super team Celtics without Shaq. Kobe turned around and beat Dwight Howard and the Magic without Shaq. 3 years in a row you lost to these people, 08, 09, 010. So Kobe beat some of the toughest teams that made LeBron run and team up with D-Wade. Don't even get me started on the fluke that was the 3-1 comeback because you were down 3-1 the very next year. And before you say, oh, they added Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant makes a team overpowered and you don't, LeBron James. So we don't even have an advantage with you on the team, but we do have an advantage with Kevin Durant on the team. But I digress. That's for a different video. Another reason why LeBron's tenure in LA was a failure. GOAT, as of today, officially stands for, when it comes to LeBron James, going on another team. I said this to you guys 3 years ago. For those of you new to the channel, never heard that before, I was the first person to say it. I'm not saying that other people weren't thinking it. The importance of me saying I was the first person to say it, because if you go against LeBron James, say anything negative about him, they're going to throw rocks at you, tomatoes, dox your page, whatever it takes to get you taken off of this whole thing when it comes to social media. Now, because the NBA is ready to move on from him so much, they're not really attacking people and attacking their channels. I mean, just look at Too Raw for Sports, Too Raw for TV, and shout out to him. He has alluded to many times, these people are coming at his channel and he should be way bigger than he is. In fact, I'm saying that. I think he should have way more views because of the amount of basketball knowledge he has and he brings to the online basketball community. Maybe now they want to get rid of LeBron James. He'll get his comeuppance, which he thoroughly deserved because he built himself up, in my opinion anyway. Another reason why LeBron James's tenure in Los Angeles was a failure, I'm going to give you 3 to 4 rapid fire ones right here. The in-season tournament, Bronny James, Russell Westbrook, Rajon Rondo, Carmelo Anthony, Darvin Ham, and D'Lo hanging the in-season tournament trophy in the rafters like you actually won a championship, Quincy Oliveri, and this track record of every time LeBron leaves a team, they end up going 19-63 the very next year without him there. That's what he tried to do to the Los Angeles Lakers. Shout out Rob Pelinka. I think he clocked LeBron coming out of the gate. They tried to appease his insecure ego by doing whatever it was he asked. And like I've said on my TikTok lives many times before, Luka Doncic, when he came to the Lakers, he's like moving your hot new young girlfriend into your house while your wife is still there. LeBron James being the current wife. Now your wife is going to be cordial at first, like LeBron James was with Luka, but eventually she going to move out. And this whole notion that Brian Windhorst said they can't get in contact with LeBron, he's not making himself available to them. That's the equivalent of you trying to call your ex-girl to come and get her box of stuff. It's her hair curler, her hair straightener, her feminine products. Come get this stuff. It's just in a cardboard box at the foot of the steps. It's finna be on a corner for trash. Now, I don't want to say come and get it off the porch because we're not really on bad terms, but I'm calling you for you to come and get your stuff. What superstar had that type of exit from an organization? You want to say Jordan on the Wizards? LeBron got fired, and he got fired in the worst way. We're going to bring in your replacement, make you play with your replacement, and we're going to serenade your replacement in front of you. So you can see this game of when you leave, the franchise is worse without you. We gonna be better with, in fact, we're better when you leave. So these are the reasons just off the top of my head why LeBron's tenure in Los Angeles was a failure. You're not better than Kobe. You're not closest to Jordan. You never jumped over Tim Duncan. He beat you twice. You didn't even beat Kobe in the finals for us to all of a sudden replace Kobe with you. This is one of the reasons these dudes keep showing you regular season records. Oh, LeBron and Kobe 16-6 head-to-head. Why don't you show us anybody else's regular season head-to-head matchup? Because you know, LeBron has beat Dwight Howard more times in the regular season than Dwight Howard and the Magic beat him. By the logic of the LeBron James fan, because LeBron beat Kobe so many times in a regular season, that means LeBron is better. That means LeBron beat Kobe or whatever. So D. Howard should not have been able to beat LeBron in 09 unless, and we're going to get into a different video about that, LeBron knew the smoke he was facing when he went to the finals to face Kobe and he ain't want to do it. Dan Gilbert seems to think he quit, but like I said, that's a video for another day. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. LeBron James fans, I'm really not talking to you, but you dudes is the ones who drive the channel. Thank you for being so insecure. Thank you for getting me to 1,000+ subscribers. Thank you for getting my channel monetized. Yes, LeBron James fans, you did this single-handedly. And I want to thank you, bitch-ass nigga, for getting this money to me. And remember, like LeBron in the finals, you lose again.